President Obama will travel to Cuba with his family on Monday. It's the first trip by a U.S. president to the island in 90 years. Now that the president has eased travel restrictions, Americans hope to visit Cuba. Cronkite News reporter Clara Benitez joins us to talk about the new rules.
Americans who want to travel to Cuba individually rather than a group must sign an affidavit, save their travel records for 5 years, and engage with the Cuban people during their visit. That's part of the president's plan to improve U.S.-Cuba relations. Baltasar Hernandez shot this video during his recent trip to Cuba. He traveled there with 18 ASU students in his international political economy class.
They don't receive a lot of American tourists or travelers at all, and so for them to be able to speak to me about sort of my experiences in the United States and for me to get to be able to speak with them, it was a very enlightening experience for both of us. We're heading into the Museo Nacional de Bellas Artes.
That opportunity was limited to educational groups, but now more Americans will be able to visit the island. A U.S. travel agency that handles Cuba trips explained the new rules.
Individual travel, being a couple, being a family, being a couple of friends, and so on, as long as they comply with the regulation.
Demand is high because most Americans have been forbidden from traveling to the island.
And right now there are 2 or 3 hotels under construction which started years ago and it's still not finished. So we have more American demand putting pressure on existing hotels. They have not hired new tour guides. They did not purchase new vehicles, being vans or buses.
Cuba might not be prepared just yet, but the Cuban people are ready to welcome Americans.
And they're very eager to welcome and receive the influx of American tourists.
Commercial flights to Cuba could begin as early as this fall. Major airlines, including American, United, and Southwest, have submitted applications to the federal government for permission to fly to the island. Clara Benitez, Cronkite News.